the ground shake for every move they make. Get ready for the impact, no way to take it back. This is the steel and canvas, this ain't no time for practice. High stakes, spectacle, adrenaline attack. Welcome to Slammin' It. Slammin' It.
And welcome to Slammin' It. I am Mando Medina, along with my tag team partner. As always, he is the Jack of Rock. Jack, what's going on, my brother?
What's happening there, Monster? How was your weekend? How was everything leading up to today?
That was good. I mean, let's talk about you. You had a big trip out there. Of course, Jack is a certified personal trainer, and one of his, as a coach, he is very proud of himself because he was able to get one of his own to become a pro bodybuilder. So, Jack, go ahead and let us know how it went this past weekend in Oklahoma. Was it Oklahoma or Alabama?
It was OKC.
OKC, Oklahoma. By the way, Pinch Alex right away likes the theme song. Hopefully we don't get a strike. We got a strike last week, copyright strike. So I don't know how I could get a copyright strike on this song when I'm the one that made it. You never know. You know, YouTube is kind of crazy like that anyway. So, yeah. So tell us, brother, how did it go?
It was awesome. You know, we were in OKC for the weekend, and beyond that, took my client, Mary Grace Edis. She is now an OCB professional bodybuilder, a natty bodybuilder, by the way. So,
and that's the best thing, natty.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the wellness? What's the wellness?
So the wellness, picture bikini. Okay, you have your bikini division that's toned. You got a good sleek, body. Now the wellness division, it's basically Wonder Woman, baby. You got like big muscular glutes, muscular legs, thin waist, capped shoulders, but not overbearing, toned arms, ripped back.
Good. And she's now a pro, so that's awesome. So what's the next step? When she nationals or something? What happens now? Arnold Classic, are we there yet? Arnold Classic?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there, baby. So the next step is going to be her enjoying a meal or two.
Yep.
So she went 7 months, no alcohol,
no
fast food, no soda, no bread.
All right, so I gotta ask. So, because normally, as soon as they might do it right before after the prejudging, right before they finally get on, they'll probably get the sodium so they can get full. What was their first meal afterwards?
Dude, that was a big pepperoni pizza. Mm-hmm. It was shrimp pasta, bottle of tequila. She got to carb up a little bit, man. So,
that's awesome.
Pre-show, right before she takes the stage, the day before, we have her carb up, man. When she's been water depleted, no sodium, no water in her body, and you put some carbs in her, dude, that body, and anybody, male or female, that body will pop. The muscles will come out, man. And so she was popping, and she dominated everywhere, every which way.
That is awesome, and also congratulations to you, brother, all the hard work that you guys done, because it's not just one person. Of course, she did most of it, but of course, she's got a discipline, but the motivation you provided her was awesome. So let's get to it, and I know this is a wrestling talk show, wrestling podcast, but we are not going to start with professional wrestling, even though there's something happened very huge. I'm going to say I very much enjoyed Monday Night Raw last night. And once again, it just shows you why it's superior to a SmackDown. But anyways, let's begin. I told you that when we came up with the concept of the show, back then, really, MMA wasn't a big deal the way it is now. And I told you we'll talk boxing, we'll talk MMA, so especially when it's headlines. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to talk MMA right now. And, of course, we had the big MMA on this past Saturday on Netflix. First time ever MVP MMA. That's what they're calling. Of course, that's Most Valuable Promotions with, of course, Jake Paul. By the way, Jake Paul bringing the Stephanie Hahn and Holly Holm fight to El Paso in 2 weeks. At the El Paso County Coliseum. We'll play a commercial later on, give you all the information about that. But MMA on Netflix, first time ever. Of course, the main event was Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Went a whole 17 seconds a whole 17 seconds. By the way, congratulations, Gina Carano. She lost over 100 pounds to be in fight shape, and she looked tremendous. Of course, Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry. It happened. Why? That's what I was expecting to happen. He bleeds, and that to stop it. But of course, I think Nate Diaz, if they would have let him, he would have kept fighting. Because he's crazy like that. Yep.
He's a zombie. He walks right through stuff. Yeah.
And then, of course, the other fight was Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. And, of course, he is, once again, the former heavyweight champion of the UFC. So those are the big main ones. Of course, there was another one. Dos Santos fought, and first of all, Jack, did you get a chance to watch it? I know Saturday was the same day you guys were doing all that stuff, but I don't know what time it was. But I bring all this up, and we can break it down very quickly. But the main thing is I'm going to give you the results, because the results just came in as to how many people are watching this. And the big question is whether or not that MVP MMA on Netflix is going to be a challenge to the UFC. And I'm telling you right now, when I give you the numbers, the answer is hell yes. Go ahead, Jack.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the results right now.
I did get to watch the fight, Monster, and if you want to call it that, I mean, again, props to Gina for losing 100+ pounds. That's difficult in any case, man. If she was looking for an excuse to drop some pounds, and the fight was and she's getting paid $1 million+,
right?
Girl, I say go for it. Ronda got the biggest payout, if I'm not mistaken, out of this entire
$2 million. Yes, sir. $2 million.
Rightfully so. It was Ronda, I believe. Gina, then Francis Ngannou got paid, baby. They got paid. So if they're going to be paying them out like this, I can only imagine the numbers going higher and higher as far as payouts are concerned, Monster.
And of course, that's the big thing. Ronda talking about leading up to this fight is how these fighters got paid. Everybody on this card, or the main event card, got up to like at least, I think the minimum was $300,000, and that's a lot of money. Yeah. And of course, and for some fighters in the UFC, that's more than they make. But that's the big thing, is that it's on Netflix. And so let me give you. I thought the broadcast looked very good. The only thing I hate is how they're at that arena. They're in LA, where the what is it called there in the Intuit Dome? I think that's what it's called there in LA, and where they put the lights behind, where it makes it looks like the place is empty when it wasn't. Empty. There was a lot of people. There. The same thing happened to the WWE, and when they went to Saudi Arabia, and they had the same thing at the Rumble, and it looked like there was nobody there, but in fact there was a lot of people there. So here are the numbers for the first ever MMA fight on Netflix. Okay. Over 12 point. The average was over 12.4 million viewers around the world were watching the MVP MMA fights on the Netflix. Of course, as you would expect, it was going to peak during the Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano fight. 17 million people were watching for a 17-second fight. So, but still,
17 for 17, baby.
17. That I didn't even think about that until you said that. That's why I got you, brother. So 17 million doing when it's a big, huge fight. I mean, so clearly, so the other average by itself was 9.3 million viewers when they first started. But that's crazy. 17 million people peaked to watch a Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. And like I said, it just tells you the marketing has been tremendous there. And MVP did a great job. So now, Jack, your thoughts, because I know you're a big UFC fan. I mean, you're the first person I know that had the UFC championship belt when they started selling it. I remember that. I remember you have it. Do you still have it, by the way? Yeah. So, I mean, that's a... Where is it at?
Yeah, I think it's storage. It's in storage somewhere, Monster. I've been trying to find it. Before we started, bringing Slammin it back, I said, man, you got your title belts? You got your title belts back? We still got to find them.
I don't know where and I have the WWE Championship belt, the one that was Eddie Guerrero one. Yeah, it was Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero. I have no idea where it's at. I thought it was at the other house. I don't think it's there. It's got to be somewhere in the garage. But yeah, I got to find it so I can put it like in the back, But you had the UFC Championship before it was a thing for people to actually start collecting these belts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the welterweight championship, and like I said, it's the old school belt too, man. The one that they kept for many years. And what do I think of the event, man? Look, it's a success. Was it a cash grab? Absolutely. Was it successful? Clearly, the numbers say that it was. I think, look, man, I really don't think Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano really wanted to hurt each other. I think they wanted to get in and out and get paid, and that's exactly what happened.
All right, so a lot of people out there are saying that it was fixed, the script, that it wasn't. By the way, you see I'm wearing a CM Punk T-shirt, and they did the interview with CM Punk right before the. Thank you for that. Right before the match, or during the when they went to the crowd and they asked CM Punk, and CM Punk said like, "Who are you going to take?" He said, "I'm going to take Ronda, and I think Ronda's going to win with the armbar." That's exactly what happened. By the way, when they were going back into the cut scenes when they're warming up, they actually showed Ronda doing the exact same maneuver she did on Corral, where she bum rushed the practice partner, took it down, and started doing the stuff. So, like, I mean, no, it was not fixed at all. So,
I mean, look, you have a stand-up, antiquated fighter. I'm not calling her old or anything. I'm just saying that the way that she fought, it's been how many years since she stepped into the cage with
17,
with
about
Cyborg?
17, about 17.
With Cyborg. The way that fighting was done back then was just so antiquated, and you're taking on a judo wrestler. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, 17 seconds into it, and she lost. But hey, again, they got paid.
Got paid. That's all that matters. And the interesting thing, and that's why we talked about, is are they going to be a threat? Is UFC going to view them as a threat? Even though it's funny how their parent company is it partners with Netflix when it comes to the WWE, but not with the MMA part of it. Is that Dana White during the Ngannou walkout? He of course went on live and he said that Conor McGregor is coming back to the octagon to take on Max Holloway in UFC 329 in July the 11th. So, like, your thoughts first of all, and I want to get everybody's thoughts too. When Dana White goes out there during the Ngannou and to try to upstage, basically what it was, he's trying to upstage that Conor McGregor is finally back. But I don't think people are like, oh, okay, because I saw when it happened, but I was like, hey, fight's about to happen. Okay, like a big deal would be McGregor fighting in the White House card, because that would make it epic. But I mean, it is what it is. What did you think when you saw that?
It just goes to show you that, look, man, I guess you don't need a winning record to attract money, because Conor McGregor hasn't won a fight in how long? And
long
how
time.
long? A long time.
I think one of the last fights he won was in Roadhouse 2.
Yeah, if you want to call that a win, again, he got paid for that. We got to see his white butt at the end of that movie. And I can't believe I remember it. But I think if he's trying to upstage, I think he did a terrible job, because Ngannou looked like $1 million. Him calling out John Jones at the end, smart move.
And the crazy thing is that they actually asked Ronda after the fight about Jones, Bones Jones, of course, in your area of the woods there in New Mexico, of course, spends a lot of time out there in Albuquerque. She said that it's a shame that he's under contract, the contract situation. Of course, Dana White's not stupid. By the way, Alex comments, 17 seconds is a short fight, but that's always a possibility with combat sports. Of course, we've seen that McGregor done it so many times, it's happened so many times.
But Jose Aldo, sure.
The one thing I will say about McGregor is that he is a spectacle and he knows how to promote. He's the type of guy, he's kind of like with Logan Paul, Jake Paul, when they're fighting, Floyd Money Mayweather. You hate them and you want them to lose because they're doing the job. They want you to hate them because they want you to spend your money to see them lose, and so they know how to play the role. They know how to market. So I'm very interested about this fight, but it's on the same day that WWE is coming back to Las Cruces, which is Saturday, July 11th. By the way, the pre-sale tickets are available right now. I have not had a chance to look because I've been busy all day. So if somebody has been able to purchase pre-sale tickets, let us know how much the tickets really are, because last week even though we talked about it about 2 weeks ago and we put it into social media about a month ago, the WWE finally released a statement saying that, hey, we got the house shows coming back and it's going to be cheaper. But are they really cheaper? I don't know. But we want to know whether or not they're cheaper or not. So if anybody actually did buy tickets yet, let us know, and let us know what or if you have the pre-sale code, I'll go out there and look at it, and we'll do it live, and we'll see how expensive these seats really are going to be, because like before the pre-sale, like it was anywhere between $80 to $800, and that's stupid. I mean, stupid expensive, especially when we talked about last week about how expensive it was to go to WrestleMania a couple of years ago, especially how we talked to Andy how much it was to go to TNA pay-per-view front row. You know, it's just crazy. So I'm very curious to see if anybody's got that information. Please let us know. So let's move on. So that's your, remember, if you want to talk MMA, we're here. That's like this type of show.
Yep.
So I thought Raw was pretty good. Your thoughts on Raw last night?
Oh, I thought it was solid. This is pretty much the first week I had to do some catching up, but man, I really want to see where the Bloodline feud goes now. Bloodline 2.0. I'm kind of, I don't want to use the word insulted because it's just the whole Oba Femi Brock Lesnar angle now. The fact that they're going to continue this monster into
Yes.
who knows where. I mean,
wait, are you saying you didn't like it?
It took away from Mania. You got Lesnar who's saying,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm done. I'm taking it all off. I'm taking my boots off. Taking my gloves off.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
Going home." And then what happened backstage?
It was a not nice for Rain, because he was crying.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so what really happened there? And, there's a lot of speculation. Did TKO step in? Hey, you're going to be one of the guys that take a pay cut. Lesnar going, oh, that's not going to happen. I'm going home. Oh, wait a minute. Let's have you stick around for just a little bit. We'll pay you this amount. Or was it just really written that way? I don't know. Either way, I didn't like it. Didn't like it.
Wow. I'm the opposite. I loved it. I love the fact that he came out there. Because let's be honest, Brock Lesnar did a tremendous job of putting over Oba Femi all the weeks leading up to WrestleMania, and everybody thought that Lesnar was going to win this match at WrestleMania, and of course that wasn't the case. He went out there and actually got destroyed by Oba Femi, and I liked it because, you know what, honestly, because it was not expected at all. So when they really truly shock us, and because normally, like, we're always predicting, what is it, the internet wrestling community, like, hey, I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen. Like with LA Knight, I wasn't really, I really wasn't surprised about LA Knight because we've been asking about when is LA Knight going to come on and things of that nature. So I love the fact that I had no idea that this was going to happen because you're thinking about, well, who are they going to put with Oba Femi? I mean, we saw what happened 2 weeks ago. And so they did this, and you know what? I really don't care if they do the rubber match, and then if he truly ends it, I'd rather him lose to Oba than to Gunter at SummerSlam. But I loved it. I thought it was cool.
I mean, we basically answered our question from last week. Who are you going to put in front of Oba? Oba has a very nice problem as to that they're pushing him to the moon. He's becoming maybe too much of a monster. And who do you have for him to go up against?
Yeah.
So, and obviously it's going to be Brock.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. They've told me that. Go ahead and say that. By the way, before we have Andy standing by, he's going to talk about Brock Lesnar. I also have another thing I can put up there. All the podcasts, because this is a podcast, are available now on Apple. Let me do my radio announcer voice. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. All your podcast places. So they're there right now. So like the last 2 episodes are there. So if you for some reason missed this or you can't watch it on YouTube or on Facebook, and by the way, we're live on Twitter as well. Like I said, I don't tell you where we're going to be live, but we're just live. All of a sudden, we're live in different places. So right now, we're currently live on Facebook, on my Facebook, on EP Broadcast Company Twitter, and of course on the YouTube page. And like I said, afterwards, it'll be on still YouTube and Facebook, and then of course, like I said, you can now listen to it on your podcast place wherever you get it. So that's it. We're evolving on this situation, Jack. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's bring our first guest on. Of course, he wants to talk about Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar, and it's gonna be Andy Quintana. Give me a second there. Let me add him. You see, like this is live, So there's Andy, of course, with the Rumble chair behind him. Andy, what's going on, bro? How's your weekend?
It was a good weekend. My nephew graduated from NMSU. Top of his hat was a little tribute to Bray Wyatt.
I saw that.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and that was a pretty neat event that we attended on Saturday. So he's big wrestling fan, and we started him early, and he's hooked for life.
Well, what's his name? Did you give his name?
No, Noah Quintana.
Noah Quintana. Oh my God,
Noah
Noah
Quintana.
Quintana. Noah
Oh, big
Quintana.
shout
Let,
out.
You
let
know.
me tell you. Let me tell you what Noah did. So he got a degree in creative media, and he did a lot of filmmaking and whatnot there at NMSU. And he wrote a little screenplay. They were 5 to 10 minute movies, mini
Uh-huh.
movies for the students. The one that he wrote his senior year, it was the story of a masked professional wrestler um, that wanted to carry on the family legacy and was struggling with that. Well, he won first place, so that was pretty cool for my nephew to do that.
Very cool.
I'll
And a
see
big
if I can
shout
get
out,
him to
by the
say.
way, to CMI, the Creative Media Institute over at NMSU. Ross Marks, who is the head professor over there, is a really good friend of mine, and I was been in a
Okay,
few films of his. So he was in good hands, man. That's a really good place to study and to learn.
he
And
loved it.
I might need his services in the fall. I'll just say that right now.
There you go.
I might need his services in the fall when football starts. So, Andy, I know we kind of talked before the show started. Give me your thoughts. I like the Brock Lesnar situation. Jack did not like it, which is the beauty of this. We don't always have to agree. Matter of fact, I love it when we disagree. So, Andy, what was your take on the Lesnar coming
Well,
back
I
last
love
night?
when we're surprised, and it was a surprise to me for sure. And Obafemi, yeah, you guys were talking about it earlier. Someone like that who it's a limited list of who he's gonna be able to face and actually challenge him. So for Brock to come back, it I'm looking forward to it. And the rumor is, yeah, SummerSlam he wants to retire. It's his home state and whatnot. SummerSlam will be in Minnesota, and I think that for the next several months, you've got stuff to lead up to that. You'll have them fight. At the upcoming pay per view. Brock will go over, and then I don't know if Oba would be the one to retire him. I like that Gunter could retire him because he can just keep that little streak of he's the guy who retires guys, and he can carry that for the rest of his career. So you got Rey Mysterio out there that at some point I think he'll retire also. Maybe they do something in Mexico and or San Diego maybe.
Jack, your thoughts?
We will Oba fall to Brock again, and will we have a rubber match? That's a good question. I just don't see Brock winning. I'm going to call it right now. I don't see him winning. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And if we do this again we will do this again next week. If I'm wrong, please call me out on it. But I don't see Brock winning over Oba. That's just me.
I think he's got to win. You gotta have he's got to win the rematch, and like you say, you have the rubberneck. I mean, you can do that, and they got so many damn pay-per-views coming up. You got the Italy one where it's going to happen, and that's in still in May. What's the June one? Is that Money in the Bank or what is June? What is July? All I know, SummerSlam is in August, like
That's the
mid-August,
Great American
and
Bash.
the Great American Bash. Let's bring back
Yeah.
War Games. All I know is that Minnesota is where they're going to have a 2-night stay there in for SummerSlam. Andy, you've been there to Minnesota in the summertime. It's very beautiful, right? During summertime
Oh
is
yeah,
Minnesota,
yeah.
right?
It's a beautiful time to be there, and hopefully I can kind of sneak up there. We'll see. We'll see what the wife says. So
Yeah.
let's go home, baby.
Yeah, but I don't know about you paying like I can just imagine SummerSlam, man. They're going to be charging like if they're charging $800 front row to go to a house show in Las Cruces, I guarantee you SummerSlam tickets start probably at $800. They're probably charging WrestleMania prices. And and we bring it up because they really got to stop. They've really got to stop.
Well, what their parent company is going to say is why people are paying it. Why would we stop? But they're isolating or they're leaving out, the everyday fan, and for that it's kind of like that kind of sucks. So
And that is a great point, Jack. That people are still paying for it. So as long as people pay, that they're going to do it. I guess like.
Yes, they are. I mean, just to bring up a little something that's taboo, but this is a golden age for scalpers right now, because you have people right now that are making a good living buying concert tickets, buying WWE tickets, and just sitting on them until the event gets closer and closer and closer. And then they're able to jack up the prices and make a good amount of money doing so. It happens a lot, especially with WWE tickets now.
You know what I heard about WrestleMania when it came to that, and this was because I heard a little podcast. Jonathan Coachman, remember the coach? He was
Yeah.
he said one of his friends got tickets to very good tickets for WrestleMania, and he got them for like in the hundred to $200 range, because they were trying to fill up the stadium, and it was like right that weekend. So that's the thing; they'll jack the price up. Up until the event, and then when there's empty seats, well, they don't want an empty arena, so they
Right.
that's the time to buy.
Isn't that what you did, Jack?
That's exactly what I did when against Taker,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels too. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we got there, the tickets were dirt cheap, man, and that's generally what happens. That's a risk reward, high risk, high reward that you have to do when you're buying tickets. And if you do decide to do something like that, I'm not saying you should, but man, you hear about that all the time.
By the way, Primetime Paul, the terrible one, Paul Torres says, "Damn, Money in the Bank isn't until September, I believe." Like I said, I don't have it in front of me because it's way too much stuff that they got going on. Andy, what else you got going on, brother? You want to bring up today?
Tribal warfare. I mean, I'm a big Fatu guy, so that one. I mean, that one's gonna carry out throughout the summer. Also, the whole bloodline, back and forth, and it's gonna be interesting. I love that they're making, Jacob's the new monster also with that Tongan death grip. So that's gonna be very cool to see.
I think they should have just called it like a hardcore match, because if you do the tribal thing, then that means one, he wins the world championship, plus he becomes the tribal chief. And I'd be, for me, like if they do it, I'd be shocked, because we're not expecting that to happen. But I just think it kind of like tells you that he's going to lose. And right now, if you kind of look at it, it's more like the bloodline. They're kind of like the bad guys. You look at Roman Reigns and the Usos. It's 3 against 1 right now, and nobody's coming around to help Fatu, because Solo is doing his own thing on SmackDown. So we'll see. I don't know, Jack, your thoughts on it being a tribal match?
I mean, remember we talked about this last week. Who's the heel and who's the face here? And I think
Correct.
now WWE is now establishing more so who is the heel with Roman and his cousins. Now you got Jacob, who looks to be the underdog, and the sheer clear cut face. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it, man. Jacob's a monster. I think he's eventually going to become a champion.
There's no doubt he'll be a champion. Andy, I appreciate, unless you want to add something else, I appreciate the call, brother.
No. I'll keep listening. Thank you guys. Cody and Gunter. Let's see how that one turns out.
That's going to be good. We can talk about that next week. We are going to talk about AEW in a little bit, but I do appreciate you, Andy. Thank you for joining us here. Once again, we are going to talk AEW. They're going to have the Double or Nothing, and hard to believe that it's going to be the 8th year already. Double or Nothing is basically the WrestleMania for AEW. At least that's why I look at it, because that was the first real major pay-per-view they had. Because remember, they had the pay-per-view, and then they didn't have the first Dynamite episode until November or October, I believe.
Yeah, right now, their big 3 is going to be Double or Nothing, All In, All Out, Forbidden Door, if you really want to count the quadrilogy there. But I do agree, man. Double or Nothing I think it's going to be a banger of a card, Monster.
By the way, Tony Quintana 5760, he says that both were getting chance on Raw, talking about Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. So I mean, yeah, I like that. So we'll see how that happens. So like I said, a lot of stuff to get to here. I also thought when I thought about the Raw is that the LA Knight is back. I love that fact. Your thoughts on Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins still doing their thing? I thought for me, I'm more like disappointed in that, because I thought we were kind of done with that, and we thought Braun Breaker was already going to go. Kind of like when CM Punk beat Braun Breaker, and then was like, all right, I'm done with Braun Breaker. I'm off to get the championship. I thought Braun Breaker was going to be the same way. I'm done with Seth, and I'm going to do something else. At least that's how I thought it was going to be.
Obviously, this feud still has some steam to it, and I think that was evident with the crowd. That was evident with the pops that both were getting. Dave Braun's, where do you rank Braun's spear now, man? I think that's like top 3. He's got like the top 3 spear.
All right, that is a great question to bring up. Where do you all rank Braun Breaker's spear? So you said he's top 3, so then you got to give us what your top 2 are then. Go ahead, John.
So I would do Goldberg, of course.
Oh my God, Goldberg.
I would do Rhino at number 2 with the gore. And I think Braun's right in there, dude, at number 3. I think he's got the 3rd best spear. I mean, they call it the torpedo spear for a reason. I mean, the dude takes off. He's flying at you.
Yeah, I like the spear because it's very violent, to say. And, you know, the way, like I said, I show speed. Not this year's Royal Rumble, but the year before where he took it, it was just amazing. And that WrestleMania one would have been epic, but he kind of hit Rollins like on the side, you know. But without a doubt, I think that he has one of the best spears. Like, if I have to rank him, I do like the fact that you brought out Rhino, you know, because so many guys have it. Doesn't Lashley use the spear as well? You know, Goldberg's good. Goldberg's one of the iconic ones. I know Roman does it. I know Jay does it as well. But honestly, I think for me, the way he's doing it right now, it's kind of number 1 for me, Braun Breaker, because like I said, he's so violent and because how fast he actually goes and gets into it. So, because like when he takes you down, he really takes you down. So we've got our good friend Paul David Oliver joining us. Of course, Paul David Oliver, wrestling galore fan, goes to all the WrestleManias. Paul, what's going on this week, brother? How you feel?
How's it going? It's going well. It's going well, and I agree with you guys. I mean, Braun Breaker, he goes, what, they said close to 23 miles an hour, and then he hits him with that spear. He can crack some ribs right there.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Your thoughts on what you saw? First of all, did you watch the MMA? I know, by the way, Paul works at KVIA TV. So shout out to everybody that works there at KVIA. Of course, our good friend Adrian Ochova. Trying to get Adrian on because I don't know if Adrian's on the air right now. Of course, the main sports reporter there at KVIA, and so like if he's on, we're all live. He can't be on, so we might have to get Adrian on when he's got a day off or like recorded. But Adrian's a hardcore wrestling fan, so that's what Paul does. But did you get a chance to watch the MMA on Saturday, the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano fight?
You know, I saw a little bit of it. I agree because actually my shift at KVIA is weekends. So on the weekends I work as an editor and photog. And so I'm there from 4 in the morning to 1 or 2 p.m. So I have to wake up about 2:30 in the morning on Saturdays and Sundays. So I was a bad boy, actually, and I did go to bed until about 9:30 p.m. So I only got a couple hours of sleep.
He's a bad boy. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I know. I was feeling it. Don't get me wrong. I was feeling it on Sunday. I'm not, as young as we all used to be, right?
Yep.
But I did see the 17 seconds of Ronda's fight, and a lot of people are saying actually, allegedly, it's scripted. But I think she just caught her at the right time, at the right moment, and at the end, it really sucks that Ronda says she just. It looks like she wants to hang it up possibly and just continue having a family, which is understandable also.
And I think she's going to get into the promotional part of it as well, which I think is very smart, Jack, that she is going to, like I did my thing. I brought all these eyes because that's exactly what she did. It's kind of like when Jericho became part of AEW. He brought all these eyes on AEW, and he knew he was going to do that. Ronda brings all the eyes along with Gina Carano, so everybody now knows what the MVP MMA is going to look like on Netflix. So, yeah, dude, I think it's a pretty good thing.
Well, Ronda's she's got to stick with something here because she was going to be on AEW Ring of Honor. She just showed up one night, and then we didn't see about it any time after that. So I think she's going to probably stick with the MMA scene here for the foreseeable future. I don't know. Maybe she could go back to wrestling again. for either ROH or AEW, one of those promotions. Maybe.
Well, she came out in AEW with Tony Storm, but of course Tony Storm hasn't been there ever since that night. When you think about it, that was the last time she that was at the pay-per-view, right? And then she came out the following Wednesday here in El Paso. Yeah. Was the El Paso the last time she came out on TV? Tony Storm?
Correct us if we're wrong on that, but yeah, I think so.
I think so. I think El Paso was the last time she was on TV, Tony Storm, which is a pretty shame because I think she's by far one of the best female wrestlers out there, by far.
Generational talent. Yeah.
Yeah. What else is going on with you, Paul?
Not much. I mean, as you said, getting ready for these plethora of pay-per-view or premium live events that WWE is about to have. I mean, they have Saturday night's main event, which I think is a little, I don't know, they need to build it up a little more, and they only have, I think, 5 matchups scheduled, so it's a little lackluster, I think. But then the next week already, they have on Sunday Clash in Italy, so I think that one they're trying to build up a little more with the whole Brock Oba and even with Roman. Being placed on the card. So I think it's going to be interesting. And then kind of as someone stated earlier in the comments, it's kind of weird that Money in the Bank is until September. So I think that's kind of a little weird. But I guess with these stacked up, pay-per-views or premium live events, they kind of want time to build up SummerSlam as well, since it's a 2-day SummerSlam at that.
And that's one of the things, Jack. It's funny that he brought up Saturday night's main event, which is this weekend. By the way, it is Memorial Weekend as well. So, a bunch of respect to all the loved ones that we have lost for they gave the ultimate sacrifice so we can do what we do here. But Jack, I did write it down in the notes, like any interest in Saturday night's main event this Saturday. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not gonna watch. I am not gonna watch live. I can guarantee you. No. There's only one match that interests me. And no disrespect to everybody, I know Sol Ruca, and that's her name, right? Sol Ruca and. The man, I'm interested in that one, but the one that I'd be interested in would be the Penta versus what's his name? The good look. He's got the glasses, So that's the problem. The guy they just brought up from NXT. Paul, what's his name? Somebody remind me.
He's the one with the
Page, Ethan Page, right? That's his name, Page, right? Yes. That's the match that intrigues me. Yeah. So I'm telling you, like, that's the only match that kind of intrigues me. Other than that, like, really, like, no, like, tag team match, nope. All the other stuff they got going on, nope. But the week later, yes, sir.
Yeah. To answer your question, Monster, no, I'm not into it. It's a shame because whenever WWE, WWF back in the day would bring up Saturday night's main event, dude, that was a treat. That was a special. A day of wrestling because they didn't bring that up often. You didn't have Saturday night's main event come up often, but when it did come up, usually something very good, something very special, something very memorable happened on that show, which ended up setting up a big pay-per-view, setting up a big show. And will that happen here? Has it happened in the past? I don't see that. I don't know. I don't see it happening, and I'm just not into it.
Let me ask you this, Jack. Do you know where it's even happening?
I don't even know where it's going to happen. No, where is it? Where's it going to happen? I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, no offense to anyone from there, but it's in Indiana. It's in a small city in Indiana, actually.
Why? Why on earth would you have it in Indiana of all places?
Because you have it at the Garden.
Have it at the Garden. Have it at the Staples Center. Have it, it's not like the Lakers are doing anything right now. Have it at the Staples Center, So, I don't know.
The one thing I will say is that I am interested in the Clash in Italy in 2 weeks because that's a banger of a card so far right now. Like I said, we got Gunther versus Cody for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Then you got Roman versus Fatu. We just talked about the tribal combat. And then you got Brock versus Oba. And then I'm assuming they're going to have at least 2 more matches. They got a pretty good damn card going on there in Italy, gentlemen. At least that's how I'm interested in that one. I'm telling you right now, like, I'm not going to be watching the Saturday night's main event live whenever it happens because it's Memorial Day and I'll be doing some other stuff.
Gentlemen, I'll tell you this. The Clash in Italy, that crowd is going to be insane. You're going to have a football crowd.
Football.
Clash in Italy.
And you know how they were talking about the rumors that maybe London might be getting WrestleMania, but then it might not. But then they're talking about Ireland, and then I'm like, oh man, we saw how it was last year when they were in Ireland, and of course that's where Finn Balor wrestled against CM Punk, and the crowd is just. I think that international crowd, well, if it was WrestleMania, like my only thing is the only question I would have is can they keep it up for the entire 2 nights? But I know the answer is of course.
Of course. Of course. I mean, you remember, seeing the camera shake on the hard cam when
AJ
when
Styles
that happened.
with AJ Styles. Yep. So.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes.
Paul, are you a AEW guy? I know you're an AEW guy because you've been to it, but like, your thoughts on how far AEW has come in the last 8 years? First of all, it's hard to believe that this is the 8th Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So your thoughts on progression, how AEW started and how it is now?
I'm not that big of an AEW fan, but I do agree that they have progressed. That they're kind of establishing their big pay-per-views, such as Double or Nothing. They are establishing kind of their big names. But yeah, I think in order to really get to the kind of the standard of the caliber of WWE, I think they need a little more storylines. They have so much talent. They signed so much talent, and they just need now kind of backstage storylines to develop and kind of develop kind of their who are their kind of their quarterbacks of the company and who's going to kind of lead that ship, because there are so many sailors, but it's like, you really need to also divide kind of your company into who are the leaders and who are the ones that people really want to be seen, such as like the Roman Reigns and now kind of like Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, and so on and so forth. So I think they just need to establish that. But once they do, they can definitely be strong competition and very, very, very scary competition for WWE.
Jack,
right now you've got Darby Allin, who is the champion right now, and I talked last week, like what are they doing with him? What are they doing? He doesn't have a big bad right now, and they actually turned that into a story where he's just taking on anybody, everybody, to the detriment of his health. You get to see you see this guy. He was taking on Sammy Guevara, and he was taking on other guys.
Every week. I love the fact that he's defending the championship. By the way, like he's gonna go against MJF, which I think that should be a tremendous matchup. That's for me that's the main event. It should be the main event. It's your world champion. He should be in the main event of your Double or Nothing, and it's gonna be a championship versus hair match, which that's gonna be very interesting there to see MJF. And for me, they've created a couple of stars. One, believe it or not, is Darby Allin, because Darby Allin has got... Actually, they created 3. And they created a couple, but one main one is, even though they kind of like didn't put him on TV a lot, is cursing people right now in the WWE. And we're talking about Danhausen, because remember, they're really the ones that put Danhausen on the map nationally, because I remember when I first saw the guy on AEW, I was like, who is this guy? And then I saw what he's doing. I was like, this is genius. This is amazing. This is funny. I think MJF is without a doubt the biggest star they have created, because he's doing movies with Adam Sandler. He was in the Von Erichs movie, didn't speak, but he was in the movie, and I think he's going to be the big star. It is just a matter of time before MJF is in the WWE. Of course, he's going to go there when his next contract ends, because it'd be kind of dumb unless he's this generation's version of Sting, who is just going to stay on the mothership and not go into the competition until the very twilight of his career. But I think Sting made a mistake not going to WWE earlier. Anyways, I think MJF is a tremendous star that they have, and for me, you talk about Andy. Paul, which guys have they brought up? For me, MJF is number one that they brought up there.
I think you do have some stars. You got a loaded, roster there. You've got the Death Riders, obviously. Will Ospreay be a permanent member of the Death Riders? I would like to see a little bit more of Kenny Omega. He's always been my favorite, and I know that he's had some health issues in the past, and so we'll see what happens with him. But I think, man, if you start pushing Kenny Omega, you bring back, you start pushing Sammy a little bit more, see what happens with Darby. I really do think MJF is going to lose his hair. He's going to do that to go film a movie, so we'll see what happens there.
The one thing I will give, and I've said this every single week, and we've talked about this every single week, Jack, is that I think that the wrestling is far superior on AEW because, like I said, the only thing, and I'm gonna bring it up again, the only thing I hate is that they don't sell finishes. You know, like they do a pile driver, like bro, sell it at least for like 30 seconds or something, and they pop. That's the only really beef I have. But Paul, you bring up some great points, like, hey, who is like they're moving so fast. Sometimes you got to slow down and you kind of have to breathe a little bit. But like I said, I love the fact that they're doing something that the WWF is copying. WWE is copying now, where they're calling their 6-man matches trios matches, because AEW was the only one doing that type of stuff. The one thing I do like about AEW and what Tony Khan is doing, he's bringing in so many international wrestlers. And Jack, I know your favorite thing for AEW is the Forbidden Door as well.
Yeah, I mean, love Forbidden Door. If we go into New Japan, there's a few other things that WWE have copied. We're talking about the post PLE, the post pay-per-view press conferences. That is something that AEW started doing, and they got that from New Japan with the post presser. So I always thought that was really cool for New Japan to do that.
But have you noticed that WWE stopped doing that stuff once Brock Lesnar came back, because they didn't want to get those type of questions there against Triple H?
Right.
What else is going on, Paul? What else is going on in your life, brother?
Not much. Actually, you know what I was thinking about, and it's actually around the corner. It's about a month away. I know this isn't necessarily a full sporting show, but the World Cup's around the corner too.
June, I think it's June 10th or something. The first match is going to be in Mexico City versus, I believe, South Africa, I believe. I have it somewhere written down.
Wow.
But yeah, it's going to take. Are you a big World Cup guy there, Paul?
No, well, since it's happening here in the United States, actually.
You bring it up, and he said, I don't care, but I'm just bringing it up. That's hilarious.
Hey,
That is hilarious,
you've been to
dude.
that new steakhouse? You've been to that Ruth's Chris?
It sucks, bro.
No.
It sucks. That's hilarious. By the way, me just because I have it here. Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just think that's funny. I just can't believe the time has already flown that far, flown so fast for the World Cup to be.
By the way,
I always got to watch it in Spanish. I always got to watch it in Spanish.
I will say this, and no disrespect to the soccer announcers in English, if you're going to watch soccer, you've got to watch it in Spanish. It is way more entertaining. I mean, a lot of stuff is more entertaining in Spanish because they really get into it. By the way, it's South Africa that Mexico is going to be playing. Actually starts on June 11th also, but yeah. Paul, I appreciate your call. And, you made me laugh, dog. That's awesome. We'll do it again next week. All right, brother?
Sounds good. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
There is Paul David Oliver. That is hilarious, Jack. He brings up, hey, the World Cup, you guys interested? I'm like, well, I mean, we'll watch, like I will watch when Mexico's on. I'll watch when the USA is on, How about you? Like, nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not that big of a deal. That is hilarious, dude. Andy did send me a text that his brother Tony did buy tickets for the Las Cruces event, and he paid $120 a piece. He said not bad seats, but not ringside. So it all depends where you're at. I do want to see the seating chart to see how much they really are truly charging for the. What do you think? You really think they're going to charge $800 ringside for a house show in Las Cruces?
That's what they've been doing. Monsters. So expect prices to be lowered, though. Expect them to be lowered because, man,
for them, it's instead of $800, it's $700 and $980 or something like $798. It's cheaper.
It'll be lowered. It'll be lowered because here in Cruces, let me tell you, man, people do not like to spend money here in Cruces, man. So expect those prices to go down.
But it's kind of like how we talked about last week, where a lot of people are thinking that that the WWE is thinking, hey, they're going to bring in people from El Paso, they're going to bring in people from Juarez and the surrounding area, may possibly Midland, and all those areas like the other parts of New Mexico, because when was the last time they came to? The last time they came in was when it was what was it? One of the other cities in New Mexico, and they actually did a Monday Night Raw there. It was a
And
Real
Albuquerque.
Rancho. It was Real Rancho.
Oh, Real
Weren't they
Ranch.
Real
Okay.
Rancho like sometime like in November? So yeah, I mean, so I'm very curious to see what the ticket prices are. We're gonna bring in a man that Jack, you and I know, and he has not commented this week because he's actually joining us live, and that is Robert. Of course, look,
Oh,
you guys got the Chrome. You guys are the Chrome Dome brothers. Robert, it's been a long time since I've actually spoken to you. I mean, we text, on the Facebook and the Instagrams and the actually text messages. But first of all, Robert goes back with us a long ways. Part of the commissioner. He played the role that I gave up, like when I was like the commissioner. And by the way, Paul David Oliver says for now, True Ringside is almost $300, and he just sent that to me right now. So I
That's
mean,
not
good.
too bad.
it's not that bad. So, but Robert, you played the GM part, of course, commissioner role for so many local independent wrestling federations. We talked about it. You've been involved. So, and I know you are gonna bring. I know it's up to you if you want to talk about the fact that you're gonna start up another wrestling federation, local wrestling federation. So, but first of all, bro, how you been, bro? It's been a minute, bro. How you been, bro?
Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm blessed to get my second chance at life. I had a
Yes.
double
Yep.
transplant in August, and kudos to Jack. Jack was always texting me, "How you doing? What are you doing?
Yep.
Where are you?"
Yep.
So shout out to you, Jack, and a lot of friends from El Paso contacted me, and of course, I just moved back to the Sun City, and um, I just figured, the wrestling scene needs a change. It needs
Yep.
a huge change.
Yeah. And you did. And by the
Locally,
way, yeah.
especially.
And by the way, first of all, shout out to all the guys from Pro Wrestling Legacy. I heard they had a tremendous time, tremendous turnout, and they did a good job. So, like I said, the point of us doing this show also is to promote all the local indie federations here because really nobody's really been doing it because they're all fighting against each other. Like I said, I brought that up last week because, like I said, once again, I'll say it again, like, just because we're not on the air now talking about it, just because I haven't been involved, doesn't mean people don't tell me what's going on. And for
Yeah.
me, it does. I mean, I understand competition, and but like when you're restricting wrestlers from doing your show because they're supposed to be in the other guy's show, but it is what it is. It's competition, and I get it. But I think y'all need to get past each other. And like we talked about last week with the Caesar there, Robert, is that you can put together like your own version of the Forbidden Door here in El Paso, and I think it'd be a great thing. Plus, hardcore wrestling fans are going to show up to every single event. That's why I look at it. Like my man Albert, we'll try to get Albert next week. So, anyways, for me, get off my soapbox. So, like Robert, I mean, do you want to mention the name of it because I think it's a great name. I don't know if Jack knows the name of it, but I think it's a great name.
Oh, I
It was
know.
actually the second person I sent the logo to. We're going to be called La Raza Wrestling, LRW. That's a little tongue-in-cheek tribute to the man himself,
Yep.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Robert, I got a question for you. Where are you looking? Where are you at with the design of the belts, as far as the ones that I sent you?
That's coming soon. That's coming soon. Actually, I've got my daughters are kind of helping out too. It's a family event, and in fact, my youngest, I've made inquiries with Cinta de Oro,
Mm-hmm.
and she will be attending his school this summer. So I'm gonna have a wrestler in the family.
That's awesome,
Ooh,
dude. That is awesome. It
cool.
just makes sense, that you're doing this. Do me a favor, because you can't do it right now because you're literally on your phone. But when you get off the call, send me the logo. Have you sent me the logo? Have you sent me the logo? I don't think you've
I
sent
don't
me the
think
logo.
I did
I know.
post the
I think
video.
well, if you have the logo, send me the logo when you
Okay.
get off, and then like when you do send it to me, I can actually like show it live so what everybody can look at it. So tell us the name, brother. Tell us the name again for the people
Arata
that didn't hear.
Wrestling.
La
It's
Raza
great.
Wrestling.
Yeah, I've already got Mr. Lutz involved. We haven't talked about exact details, and I've got the legendary Hurricane Hector running my locker room. And that's it's going to be great with Hector being involved because he's not going to let any crap fly back there. No egos. Uh,
Ain't that the
no
truth? Yeah.
no one saying no yob. You know, none of that.
What Robert's trying to say is like that's the Mexican version of that doesn't work for me, brother. And the thing with Hurricane, we'll try to get Hurricane here in a couple of weeks. Hurricane is of course the ultimate legend, of course, in the Hall of Fame for pro wrestling is Hurricane Hector. So what Hurricane says, everybody's gonna not only like listen to him, but they're gonna like respect because he has so much experience and of course loved by so many people. Shout out to my boy Hurricane Hector.
Yeah, he's a great man. He's a great man.
So La Raza Wrestling, what do you think we're going to be able to watch and attend La Raza Wrestling? First of all, I'm going to throw a bunch of questions at you. One, where can we, first of all, what days you going to, let me give some advice too. Don't run the shows when there's a WWE pay-per-view or PLE, whatever it is. Don't do that. That's the one thing that always drives me crazy. Like, bro, you're going up against... You're doing a show at WrestleMania, the day of WrestleMania. Yeah. When it's one of the smaller ones, it's okay. Just don't go up against one of the big four. You know, location that you're looking at, ticket prices. I mean, all this can change, of course. What part of town are you looking at? You know, I mean, like, Jack, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like doing stuff. Okay, look, go ahead. Look. Okay, no, hold up. Now you can do what you got to do, Jack, because now now the camera's just on Robert. So if you're gonna do some jumping jacks, some push-ups,
I think pump, brother.
Yeah. All right. So I think Jack is back now, Robert. So
yeah,
I throw a bunch of. That's the beauty of doing something live, you know which is the beauty of the show. So Robert, go ahead and give us some info, bro, on La Raza Wrestling.
Well, you know what, I've had this idea for a couple of months now. You know, when we launch, I really kind of want to revisit the Castle Ballroom. I haven't been in touch with you, but I think it would be nostalgic, and I think it's a great place for the crowd. I think they'll get a hot crowd to start off with, and they just need to be careful with their heads.
Watch your head. Yep.
Yeah, watch your head at Castle Ballroom. And I plan on launching the end of October. You saw our logo. Our logo's got a little Latin influence along with American influence, you know, for Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
And I after leaving El Paso for a second time, I've taken a lot of pride that I should have had before.
Damn right, you should have had it.
Yeah, our culture. We have
you don't realize it till you're gone how great of this city. I mean, I'm just saying, not just you, but a lot of people. Jackson, you don't have the cruises, Jack, but you're still in El Paso. You know, always you don't realize what we got here in the South. I'll say Las Cruces too in the Southwest. How beautiful we are, the cities we have here until we go somewhere else. You know, but I love it, bro. In October, and I'm going through my mind what I would call this event. You know, like Dia de los Muertes. I don't know. Like I'm thinking of something. I'll think of something, bro. But yeah, I think it's great. Yeah. Dia de la Lucha.
I've got a plan to start bringing the crowds. I want to start running monthly, then bi-weekly, and then possibly weekly. If we start going bi-weekly, we can start storylines, we can start feuds, we can do a lot of things. So that means we're going to have to work our tails off if we're going to start off monthly, just to get the attention of the crowd. I almost want to. A lot of fans might not like this, but I almost want to have a lucha division on its own. You know, like in the past, we've had cruiserweights, things like that. But I want to have a lucha division on their own, possibly their own championship, and then of course the LRW championship.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little different. It is different, and I'm going to focus on the youth. It's going to be a youth movement, but we're going to have some veterans in there every once in a while to show us how it's done.
Well, that's the way you do it. You got to have the next generation. You know, we got to create the stars somehow. And like I said, El Paso, Las Cruces, Juarez, we've always been a hotbed of professional wrestling, especially lucha libre. You know, like I remember when I was a young, tiny monster there, like maybe like in junior high school. And I remember like the only time I'd hear something about wrestling is like maybe once in a while, one of the El Paso Times would run, or Herald Post would run a story on a lucha libre event happening like down the street, but of course it already happened like somewhere in Socorro, you know. So like I think it's great. And then I think if I go back once me and Matt and of course Hurricane, because Hurricane was a big part of EPWF and everything we did, Lucha Caliente, there at the Castle Bar, and we brought it back, and then we went away, and then it was gone for about a lot of years. So that's why I respect all the guys. I expect you guys kept it going, Jack, you and Robert, and of course also Mandy and everybody, because awesome coming, Andy bringing in the events from New Mexico and doing it, choosing to stage the events here in El Paso, and then everybody else came along and started doing the events. Like I said, that's why I think that's one of the main reasons what inspired me to bring back this show, because it's about time that we start bringing the spotlight back, because we can. But yeah, Rob, I love it, Robert. I think it's great, dude.
Yeah, and we need to start focusing on not just the old fans like us, enjoying the show. We need to do something for the casual fan as well, to get them addicted to the sport, to get them to appreciate the art form of wrestling, American style wrestling, and lucha libre. I think that's very essential for the success of the sport in El Paso.
Will you be the
Robert, I
evil?
also think.
Go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead, Buzz.
I was gonna
I
say,
also
will you?
think
Okay, you go, Jack.
Yeah, I was just going to say. I think
this
it's
time I'll
also
just mess with you,
very
dog.
good.
I'll
I'm
just
gonna
mess with
fine
you,
blame
dog.
I think it's very good also for the community itself, especially in El Paso. I mean, people always say, "Oh, we need something to do. We need something to do." Well, lucha wrestling, especially with the promotion that Robert's going to be putting up, I think that's going to give a lot of people something to do, something to talk about. And when you have your locations locked down, if you decide to have outdoor events, Robert, you and I have been to, we've done those shows where we've been to certain ballrooms, we've been outside, and to see the mass of people, to have the casuals and the hardcore fans show up, I think that's just really important to bring back again.
Yeah, you've got to cater to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing I will say is that right now, off the top of my head, I know they do a lot of stuff, and I know also Mandy, and shout out to my boy Jason Craig. He's trying to do he does the Lucha Slam, or he basically tries to do an event. I can't remember which guys he runs with, but they do an event. They actually do it the day of a pay-per-view. They did it a couple of months ago, where they do the wrestling event during the day, and then they show the pay-per-view, and which is, like I said, a decent idea as well. But the whole point being is that they're doing I see the Northeast as one of the hotbeds, because I know that's where also Manny like to do a lot of shows, and then of course PLW and that downtown area, and then we got to get something. Is there something going on? I know there's another federation off the top of my head, the ones that are training people. I can't remember, but I know they're kind of like in East Lake Horizon area, but I'm not sure. But like I said, Robert, once you get all that stuff down, we love to be involved, like I said, we want to be involved with everybody. I think it'd be great, dude. I think it'd be awesome, especially because now because before you weren't running the show, you're just part of the show. But now because when you're part of this show, you're like, man, I will do this different. I will change this up here and make this guy the champion, because maybe it would pop it up and be different reaction, But now experience. I guess the best way to say it, Jack, of course, is that our good friend Robert has experience now doing the professional wrestling thing.
If you don't mind, I wanted to send out a shout out to our buddies Super Chaos, Luis Guzman, and Danny G. They run their school up in Albuquerque, and Luis already contacted me.
Yeah.
TDR.
Yeah.
They contacted.
So how about Mr. Colt? How about Mr. Colt there, Mr. Martinez?
Aiden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I like Super Chaos. I still follow on Facebook, and I see all this stuff. And Danny G, I haven't seen Danny G post them. Does he still have the Facebook? I really haven't seen him do anything lately.
Yeah, he's a Mr. Man model right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome.
Huh?
That is awesome.
We're missing
Yeah,
out.
I got the opportunity to meet Rudy Boy Gonzalez. My daughter and I went down to San Antonio, and we checked out his school. We watched a training session for a few hours, 3 hours actually. My daughter was just staring at what was going on in the ring. She was intrigued. I'm being corrected on the side of the camera. 4 hours. We were there for 4 hours.
Is she there?
Meeting.
Is your daughter there? Well, tell her to get on front of the camera. Just wave hi to everybody. Go ahead. I mean,
right there.
yeah. You give a shout out. I'm say,
This is Maurice.
Hey, Maris, how are you? Good to have you on the
Hola.
show. It's Jack speaking Spanish to you, so she's the one that's going to be the rest. You're the one that's going to go into the world of professional wrestling.
Yes.
Okay, let me just tell you, like, there's a lot of great wrestlers here in El Paso, and this is the first time. And my apologies, I haven't brought up her name yet, even though like her dad is a good friend of mine, and we're gonna have her on the show very, very soon. Former CMLL heavyweight champion Persephone, of course, is from El Paso. So Persephone, like I've seen her journey, you know, and that's something you should be able to aspire to, because we have a wrestler here in El Paso that never stopped, and she kept at it. Her dad would tell me, Monster, she's wrestling in Japan, she's wrestling in Mexico, and I don't know about AEW, and WWE's looking at her, and now she made it to AEW and is one of the regular ones, and of course CML champion, you know, women's champion, and wrestling against Sasha. I still call her Sasha Banks, even though it's a Mercedes Moné, you know. Just think about it. Whole point is that she started here in El Paso, and I think you can do the exact same thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
There you
I've
go.
got faith in this.
Yep.
She's gonna make her dad rich like Tiger Woods' dad.
I won't give
Hey.
him any of my money.
Rising tides bring up all boats, baby.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to reach out to Rudy Boy to bring some of his students or some of his buddies that have already graduated, and then I'd love to bring people down from Dom's place out there in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a good job out there. So I think it's great. Robert, when you get more information, let us know. And like I said, like, you can always, when you come back on, you can talk other stuff going on, okay? But we look forward
And
to
I'm looking forward to, Robert, I'm looking forward to you and me in the booth once again.
Oh, you know what? I would love for you guys to broadcast our first show live.
There you
if
go.
That's possible.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Jack, you do know I'm on national, like, TV when I'm doing the basketball games for UTEP, right? You always seem to forget that I have all this TV experience. I'm just
How
a
do
little
I
bit insulted.
forget?
You did not like, I say, at least Robert right away thought about us doing it together. You're like, oh, I would look for it. What about me? What about Monster? What about? Oh my God, you have insulted me.
You're always in there. You're always in the
I'm
mix,
just
boss.
joking.
What do we say?
I'm just joking. Or
Robert
am
and
I?
I have a thing. We've got a
I know.
connection.
I actually want to see that. I like the fact. By the way, before I was messing with you. By the way, we're kidding because we know each other. That's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
Robert, will you be like the evil general manager character, or you'll be the good guy? You haven't decided yet.
So you mean just yourself?
Yeah.
You know, the great thing about being a heel is it's you turned up times 10.
Being a bad guy is way more fun. I always love being the bad guy. Being the bad guy is fun. Being the good guy is hard to is kind of. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of boring, but being the bad guy, all three of us, we've been the bad guy in a professional wrestling setting. It is way more fun. So.
You know what? I haven't decided if I'm gonna even be part of the show. Maybe join you on the broadcast booth because I got to concentrate on making this company successful.
There you go. That's
so
Fonzie. Fonzie comments. What about Raven? What about Mando? You know, that's what Raven would do. That's old ECW, WCW, the Raven reference there. Robert, I appreciate you, man, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Also, your daughter as well. Hopefully, I see a bright future in everybody's coming forward. Jack, anything else before we wrap it up with Robert here?
I just think it was a pleasure to bring up a good ghost of Christmas past, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for La Raza Wrestling.
All right, Robert, I appreciate you, bro. We'll do it again in a couple of weeks, all right?
All right, love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Love you. Be
more.
safe there. And there you go. That's the best way to do it. So that's a Robert who joined us. It's good to see that. Like I said, we have a lot of friends. Like, one of the reasons too is because he actually did reach out to me. He's telling me I'm going to start La Raza Wrestling, which I think is a great idea. Like, for me, like I said, the more the merrier. You know, that's how I see this. AEW Double or Nothing. We're going to get to it in a couple of seconds. Fonzie, go ahead. I know you're watching, Fonzie. Go ahead and just call in, dude. I was going to text you, but I know you're watching. Just go ahead and call in right now. That's Fonzie. But yeah, I think it's great that they're going to bring on live wrestling here. Like I said, El Paso has always been a mecca of wrestling, not only lucha libre, but like in the whole world. And it's like one of the cities, kind of like, you know, the North Carolina area was always one of the big professional wrestling states. You know, you talk about in Canada with the Hart family, you know, Southern wrestling, you know, Georgia and Florida, of course, in the Dallas area with the Von Erichs, you know, and El Paso's always been known to be one of those cities.
Right, and you know, you need these athletes, you need these wrestlers to have an outlet, and well, and also you need certain companies that have, you know, start getting along and working with each other. Because look, man, again, rising tides bring up all ships, monster. So,
Yep.
El Paso, like you said, is indeed a mecca, and it's only getting better and better because you've got so many kids out there, so many kids growing up that need an outlet, and I think professional wrestling is just the thing for them.
Let's bring in. By the way, before I bring him in, and by the way, Robert just sent me the image. So, that is a
Pretty
nice
dope, right?
looking logo. As I attempt to, like I said, this is the beauty of live broadcasting, is that I am going to try to do this live here in a couple of seconds, and like I said, he just sent me I could easily just use my phone to do this, which I think.
But it looks more professional when you bring it up.
It does. I'm gonna bring it up. So I'm gonna bring Fonzie in the program because there's one thing in particular I wanted to bring up with Fonzie because I have not seen it. Jack, I don't think you've seen it, but I know Fonzie has seen it. And that is the AEW Road Warriors special that they did, and apparently. Road Warrior Animal's widow is very upset about the biography that they did.
Yes.
First of all, Fonzie, what's up, brother? How are you today, bro?
Hey, what's going on, brothers? How y'all doing today?
Doing good, bro. So first of all, give us your thoughts on the A&E biography of the Road Warriors, because like I said, I haven't had a chance to see it, but you're watching it the other day when I called you.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It was a pretty good show. It was, you know, it's stuff that longtime wrestling fans knew about, but it was done well. But then, you know, a day or two later, you got to see Road Warriors Animal's wife go on social media, and boy, she blasts everybody. Look at that! Look at that!
But and I forgive me for interrupting you, but there's and I'm making it. Like I said, this is live. I'll cover my face because nobody needs to see me. Everybody knows what I look like. So that is the La Raza Wrestling, and let me make it bigger. Let me hold on. Give me a second. Let me move it. Let me move it there and put my face. That way I can just cover my face, and you can see what it looks like. So there is the La Raza Wrestling logo, and like I said, Robert said he's shooting for October, and it's great to see. And so there you go. I mean, I think it's awesome. So I love it. Like I said, this is live. We're doing this live. So like I said, impromptu, and I think it's great. So go ahead, Fonzie. So forgive me. Now go ahead and let us know what you thought about it.
It was a good show. It's, you know, when you look at stuff about the old timers or the golden era guys, because you know what, the Road Warriors, the LOD, that's probably the best tag team that you'll ever see, you know. But to hear Animal's wife on social media, what she put on there was crazy. That, you know, a lot of people didn't keep in touch with a lot of these, you know, with Road Warrior Animal or anybody like that. So I mean, it's starting to see that, you know, everything's coming undone, and WWE's doing a lot of stuff that I guess not to protect the business, but they're nitpicking about what they want on there.
Yeah.
Instead of giving the full story.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is a good watch for you guys to look at it. I mean, it was very interesting from a different point of view. From, you know, when you've seen I think you've seen what is it by Vice? What is it called?
The
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
Dark Side of the Ring.
And by the way, I'm looking forward to that because they're going to do 3 episodes on TNA by itself, how TNA first started, which I think that's amazing because a lot of
The
people
Jeff
remember
Neverhart, Dixie Carter. Yeah.
when a lot of people remembers that when TNA first started, you had to pay $10 to watch it every single week. It was
Yeah.
pay-per-view every single week, you know, and it's amazing how they've come this far as TNA. But yeah, I'm trying to look for the comments that there it is. So this is
Oh,
what
for the Road Warriors.
Road Warriors' wife said. She said she is her name is Kim
What she
Laurinaitis. She says I'm part of the AEW. She's not part of the AEW A&E, excuse me, biography. No, his actual wife, the one that was with him and died years before, she was not contacted to film, believe it or not. So she's very upset about that. And she says, "What the heck am I watching?" She used a different word. Oh my God, I'm so done. This is not how my husband died, because apparently I didn't see it. So they're saying he died at a hospital, but she is saying that he died at a hotel, and that they took him to a hospital. She said, "I tried to save him in our hotel room. I was the only one there with the paramedics. Are you serious right now? I held him for over an hour trying to wait for Jessica and Lindsay, both daughters, to get there before they transport him to a funeral home. What the heck is going on? I'm about to lose my mind right now. I've never been so bad." So she keeps on going. Can anyone tell the truth anymore? What fake ass phony people? So I mean, and there's just a lot more stuff. She's very upset that they never contacted her. So and I said, like I would be the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just make that clear here. That's the A&E side that decided to do that documentary here. That's not an official WWE.
No.
Putting it in the documentary.
The fact that Paul Levesque is the producer of this, you got So WWE has a hand in a lot of their stuff that goes out there now. So it's not like the Dark Side of the Ring they're not part of, But it just really resonates because you look back at the Hulk Hogan documentary. They did not even mention the wife, Jennifer, that was with Hulk for 12 years, that went through all those surgeries, and not once did they mention her.
That's the one that was with him when he passed away, right?
No, that's Sky.
Okay, so there was another one in between that.
Yes.
Yeah, he was married 3 times.
So he was married to Linda, and then Jennifer, and then Sky. I didn't know about the Jennifer yet. That's a great point. I didn't know that at all.
He was married to her for like about 11 years.
Wow, I did not know that.
Stuff. Yeah. So
I did not know that.
He's the one that saved Hulk from being, Hulk taking his life and leaving when he wanted to,
Yeah.
They skipped a whole lot of that section. You know what I mean? So to think about it, there's still and there's probably some valuability with this story in regards to Animal's wife, talking about how they turned it, and it's it's hard. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
You don't know what's kayfabe or.
Yeah, and then at the same time, when people are, and Jack, you know this, you're in show business. When people are trying to put together a documentary or some type of show, they got to make it interesting. There's got to be some type of hook. They sometimes alter things to make the story more attractive, so to say, right?
Sure, whatever it is to drive the plot. That being said, you got to take into consideration the people that were in that person's lives. And you got to, talk to them. You got to get their side of the story, too. Without doing that, that's pretty disrespectful.
Yeah, so that's a shame that happened. What else is going on with you, Fonzie?
You think about it, looking back and reading and going to social media wrestlers, let's talk about Big Kevin, Big Sexy.
Yep.
I heard JR in one of his podcasts talk about Kevin Nash could be one of these writers back there, the guy that could be running a show because he's very knowledgeable. Big Kev got a lot of good knowledge of wrestling and how the business really works. When we talked about him saying creating a union and whatnot, and then the topic that I saw probably yesterday or the day before, where he says he talked to one of these WWE stars and he had to take a big pay cut, a 50% pay cut. but also saw how big that pay cut was, but how much he's still making. I don't know who the
What do you think
wrestler
it
is.
was?
Man, I'm trying to think.
Because the quote from he went on in his podcast, which is very good by the way, the Kevin Nash podcast. He talks about how like he knows the wrestler that took the 50% pay cut, and Kevin Nash almost fainted when he heard how much money he was making to begin with, and then even with because he's making so much money, he had no idea this guy or female wrestler was making this amount of money, and then he's still banking at 50%. So I mean, yeah, like I said, like. I mean that's
Who do you,
and
who
that's,
would your
and-
guess be?
I don't know. It's very hard for me to pick somebody that
There's
I
a
think
joke going on right now that it was Seth Rollins that they confronted. You know, the guys from TKO and Khan
Yeah.
went up to Seth Rollins. You know what? We need you to take a 50% pay cut, and then Seth Rollins says, "Oh, you know what? I'm willing to take a 70% pay cut if it helps the company."
that's funny. I would think it'd be somebody that's really not on TV right now because I'm assuming that this particular wrestler got signed when the WWE was going. They didn't want anybody to go to AEW at all. Remember, so
But you
they're
said
just
they're still
signing.
making bank,
And
right?
there's one name. Who's off
Yep.
of TV right now? The
Uh,
guy, the legend killer, the RKO.
Well, they say Randy's injured, even though he came out saying he's not. But I mean, that's I don't think they would tell Randy to take a pay cut. You know,
Yeah.
I think it's somebody that really is not really on TV that much, and maybe he is, but not as big as they used to be. I don't know, but I think it's one of these wrestlers that, like I said, was signed to a long-term deal when the WWE really, I think it was like maybe 2-3 years ago, they didn't want anybody to go to AEW at all.
Right.
You know, so they're just signing everybody. And then when they realized they were paying them so much, they started firing people. Like when they got rid of Braun Strowman, he's one of the guys that was making a lot of money. They just got rid of him.
Braun,
You know,
they should have kept Braun.
yeah.
I think they
Brian's
dropped
knees
Braun.
are pretty messed up, man. That guy's got a lot of surgical issues that he's been dealing with for quite
Well, I
some
mean
time.
that's what happens too, Jackie. You know this when you're a power lifter or when you're a strongman. First of all, before you
Yeah.
become a professional wrestler, because these strongmen, if you notice, like some of the big strongmen now, folks, type of show that we've got, we're talking about strongman competition now. You see a lot of the great strongmen, of course. A lot of them retiring, like Eddie Hall, like no longer competing in strongman
Right.
because, and he started boxing. You know, even what's his name, Thor? Is that what they call him? The guy from
Half-Thor
yeah.
Beardsley, yeah.
yeah,
The
and
Mountain,
then I can't Shaw. What's his name? Brian Shaw. You know,
Brian Shaw, yeah.
Brian Shaw is great. Like I love when they did the show on A&E with the four of them. I'm missing the other one. I
Yeah.
named the three, but I think it's great the what they do. You know, but you've noticed they've all kind of like retired from doing that because eventually
Yeah.
that takes a toll on your body. And Jack, you know this from being
Yes.
athletic trainers that you really can't be that heavy. It eventually is going to take a toll on your frame.
Yeah, I mean, when you put in Braun's situation, you got this kid that was a power lifter first, and then he goes into professional wrestling. So those injuries mounted up. If I'm not mistaken, he also has an injury in his foot. I don't want to say it was quite like Scott Steiner's injury, as severe as
the
that
drop
was.
foot. Yeah, the
The
drop
drop
foot.
foot. He may have a drop foot, but he had a real big injury in his foot that was also a big reason why he was let go too. Is just, I mean, when you put your body through that for years and years and years, when you start powerlifting, you got kids that will start at 14, 15. You've got powerlifting meets for kids in their teens. You do that into your 20s, into your 30s. Let me tell you, man, for anybody out there, your muscles will take it. Your joints will not. Your joints eventually will say, "Yeah, that's it."
Yep.
That's a big thing, and I think that goes for like a lot of sports. When you think about it, ligaments and all that stuff can't take
Yeah,
that heavy weight. Eventually, they give.
right.
Remember
When that
Hogan.
cartilage is gone, it's gone. It won't come back.
Remember Hogan lost the weight. You know, even look. You want a prime example? Look at what Roman Reigns looks like now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
ripped to the bone. Looks amazing compared to what he was 7-8 years ago when they were pushing him as the big dog. Remember how big he was?
Yep.
Look at how how much weight a lot of these wrestlers have lost. So I think that's something you got to look at. The one guy I still think is huge though is Randy Orton. It's just amazing how big he is,
Oh,
and also Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is amazing.
Yeah,
He's
Billy
over
Gunn,
60
Jesus.
years old and he is just still jacked. That is like
Yeah.
a lot of that is the training, the stem cells and all that stuff. A lot of it is genetics as
Yeah.
well, but a lot of it is discipline as well.
It's training, it's genetics, it's stem cells. A lot of it right now, and I hate to bring it up, a lot of it is peptides right now too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, will that be FDA approved? I don't know. We'll see. It's how you train, it's what you're eating, and all that stuff, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, let me bring this question up because my man, The Rock, Luis Gonzalez, asked me this during the week to bring it up. He says, who do you consider and people can comment too at the comments, who do you consider the first family of wrestling, the Hart family or the Von Erich family or the Rhodes family or the McMahon family, or you can even say the Jeff Jarrett family as well, because they got a big lineage of tremendous wrestlers. So, like, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be biased right away. I'm always going to say the Von Erichs because the Von Erichs are the reason why I fell in love with professional wrestling, because that's what I could watch on a regular basis. So, for me, I'm going to say the Von Erichs because I know that regionally, I know their history, whether it be good and bad. Of course, a lot of it bad. I know everything with the Hart Foundation, the dungeon as well. But for me, I have to say the Von Erichs. Jack, who was your first family of professional wrestling?
I'm going to be a little biased too, but I'm going to try and be as objective as possible. But I will say the Von Erichs as well. I will agree with you. I would say the Von Erichs, and then maybe the Hart family is right underneath. Hey, they're rubbing shoulders with each other. But I mean, you want to talk about one of the greatest heels of all time? That's Fritz Von Erich.
Yep.
People forget this dude came out as a Nazi, gentlemen.
Remember
And,
that?
the Iron Claw, dude.
Yep.
That's a lot of testicular fortitude to do. You won't see that now. You won't.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And by the way, there's a lot of great families and lucha libre as well. But he was kind of
You can
basically
bring up
saying
the
like
Guerreros.
Guerreros
bring
as
up the
well.
Rhodes.
You can bring up the Guerrero family as well. Forgive me. Like I say, you can say Von Erich, you can say the Guerrero family. I mean, for me, Guerrero would be like, for me, Von Erichs and Guerreros are like neck and neck. For lucha libre, for lucha libre. For lucha libre, it's the Guerrero family. For American style wrestling, it's the Von Erichs. I think that's the way I should have really rephrased it.
But
So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
no,
with
I'm
that.
Fonzie. Who are you picking?
But let's go. I would have said, and I agree with both of you guys. But I'll tell you this: it doesn't work for me, brother.
Uh-oh.
Because let me tell you, you got to go back to the and I'm not a big fan, but I'm a big fan of The Rock and that. But that Samoan dynasty started by Chief Maivia, and then you had the Samoan brothers, the Sika.
Yeah.
You got to remember they were in the wrestling a long time before the Guerreros came in, before the Von Erichs came in, and before the Harts came in. So if you talk about history, yeah, that Samoan dynasty.
So you're going the bloodline.
Really put an op on there because they were here longer, and they've had a lot of guys that have been in the business, and they've got they got a bigger family that has been the longevity of the Samoan dynasty has really been there, and it goes way back to the probably 60s, 70s for these guys. Yeah, I mean, but what got us into what we'll always consider, like you said, the Von Erichs, the Guerreros, because especially in our area where we live in, that's what we saw, the Von Erichs and the Guerreros. And now past the Coliseum, that's what we saw.
Yeah. That's a good point as well, Jack, the bloodline, that they've got it going on as well. Fonzie, before we wrap it up with you, give me your quick prediction on the AEW World Championship match, because when we hang up with you, we're going to just go right into the predictions, and then we're going to wrap up the show. First of all, who wins, Darby Allin or MJF? Will MJF shave his head like Jack and Robert?
You know what? You're not going to get your top superstar, your top villain, to shave that head. That's too much beautiful hair he's got.
I am jealous of his hair, by the way.
I got good hair myself, so I'm not
I do
worried
not.
about that.
That's why I'm always wearing the cap.
It
True
looks
story.
like Jack. Jack, you got the greatest hair out here, man.
Well, it's
But
I have wait. First of all, I have shaved my head before, and when I did shave my head, I did like the way it looked. It's easy to maintain. I mean, there's a lot of maintenance, but like once you get it down, like it's easy. The best part of it is you get up and go. Get up and go. You don't have to worry about like combing the hair, the products and stuff like that. But you still have to like shave it. Like for me, I liked it when it was like completely bald, and I don't have the picture, or do I? I'd have to find it. Because like I said, I would pop it up since we're talking about it.
I got a
But
coaching picture when I was bald as well too, so I'm all right.
So we'll see. So Jack, there you go. Fonzie thinks that MJF is gonna win that.
Yeah.
All right, Fonzie, I appreciate you, bro, and we'll do it again next week. All right, brother. That is
All right, my man. I'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you, brother.
What you're gonna do?
There you go. There's Fonzie there. Very excited there, Jack. As you can tell, he's a Hogan guy. Very hardcore Hulk Hogan guy. I don't have the picture with me. I'd have to go through my phone and do this other stuff. So let's talk AEW. That's part of the we did talk AEW, but let's talk about the pay-per-view. Like I said, for me, it's hard to believe it's been 8 years. I remember when it first came around, and for me, they've come a long way. Has the AEW. I like the fact right now we talked about the status of the professional wrestling status of AEWs. I love the fact that it's not all about the what did they call themselves when it was Cody Rhodes and of course the Kenny Omega and the elite that I guess the executives you would. I'm glad that they've kind of gotten away from that. And that they've got and everybody's still wrestling like Omega and the Young Bucks and things of that nature. And I like the fact that Jungle Boy is no longer just Jungle Boy. He's like Jack Perry now,
Yep.
They're doing good stuff. I really truly enjoy AEW. Yeah. So let's do our picks and predictions for AEW Double or Nothing, their version of WrestleMania. It's gonna be at least 5 hours long, y'all. That's all I'm gonna tell you. There's a big difference between WWE pay-per-view and AEW pay-per-view.
You have a lot of matches. You get a lot of bang for your buck.
And they have a lot of wrestlers there. This is happening, I believe, in Jersey or New York. Actually in New York, where the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Arthur Ashe Stadium. Yeah.
We'll begin towards the bottom. It'll be. I'm just saying because we're going to work our way up to the main event, the Owen Hart Cup Women's Quarterfinal. Willow Nightingale versus Alex Windsor. Should be a tremendous match. By the way, I expect all these matches to be tremendous. I'm going Willow Nightingale. Jack, who do you got?
Nightingale. Yep.
All right, so we both take Nightingale is on.
We both take that one?
Yep.
We agree on that one? Okay.
We do. Owen Hart Cup men's quarterfinal. Swerve Strickland versus Bandito. This should be a tremendous match. Of course, Strickland, former AEW heavyweight champion. Bandito, one of the best wrestlers they got there. I don't know. I'm going to let you pick first.
Swerve.
All right.
Swerve, former champion. Bandito, former Ring of Honor champion. So I think they're going to push. Swerve is on to something, man. When he goes to the dark side, dude, he's just super compelling, and I think he's going to take it.
Okay, well, you thought that was kind of hard, dude. I'm taking Swerve as well. If you thought that was kind of hard to predict and hard to call, how about Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe in the other men's quarterfinal? This one is very hard to call.
So this is going to be, I think this is low-key going to be one of the scene-stealing matches of the night. That being said, I think Ospreay is going to take it. I think he's got a lot of steam.
I will go the other way for the sake of going the other way. I will take Samoa Joe. He wants that championship back. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. They tell me that's something to say. And they tell me that's something to do. For the people watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and please like and subscribe. Do it. Do it.
Click the link below.
It's right here. Let me now I put it below you. It's below you now. Like now it's right there, like right there. Like and subscribe. It can follow you. Like and subscribe. Also before that, don't forget that I also said that there you go, it's back. Don't forget if you want to listen to it, you can listen to Now you can watch the replay on YouTube, but you can also the show is available on all your podcast formats. It is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Bro, this is what happens. I just saw Amazon. What's going to happen in The Boys tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen in The Boys tomorrow? By the way, thank you. Somebody just liked. Somebody just liked, so thank you.
Man, Homelander's got to be mortal. I think he's going to go mortal, and he's going to be the one thing that he hates. He's going to be a regular Joe.
We'll see. I mean, that's not what happens in the comics. We're not talking about what happens in the comics.
What happens in the comics is even worse.
Yeah, so The Boys is a great show, and we're just bringing it up because it's going to be everywhere on social media tomorrow. The finale of The Boys. They fumbled the Stranger Things. They fumbled the Game of Thrones. Everybody's worried that they're going to fumble The Boys. We'll see. All right, so that was my Boys thing because, like I said, we are.
That's our prediction for The Boys.
Do you guys have the 4XD or whatever theaters in Las Cruces? We don't have them in El Paso.
I don't think so. I don't think Alan has that. But I could be wrong.
Because those people are actually watching they're able to watch at the movie theaters I think in about an hour and a half. So I mean whatever. Right. But I'm gonna stay off social media after 10 p.m. because I don't know what's going on. I'm not gonna open up YouTube, none of that stuff. Anyways, back to AEW, Double or Nothing. Stampede, Stadium Stampede, The Elite, Jericho, Omega, Perry, Young Bucks versus The Demand, Ricochet, Khan, Leona, and Mark Davis. For me, it's going to be a tremendous match. I got to pick The Elite and Jericho and Omega and all those guys.
I think there's just too much talent on that side. I think The Elite is going to take this. That being said, I think it's going to be a banger of a match, but I think The Elite will come out and Jericho.
AEW International Championship, Okada versus Takeshita. This is going to be I'm telling you, all these matches, like you said, Jack, you've been saying they're going to be bangers. I think this is going to be a hell of a match. Hell of a match.
I think this is. I mean, dude, this is. You got A+, A+, A+. I think they're teasing a face turn for Takeshita. That he might leave the Don Callis family. I am going to go with Okada.
I will go with Okada as well. AEW Women's World Championship 4-way Tikla versus Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, and Jamie Hayter. Does the champion keep the championship, Jack? I say no. I think we're going to have a brand new AEW Women's Champion.
Finally, you and I disagree. I think Tikla's going to hold on to it, man. She's hot. Too much steam right now. I think she's going to keep it. That's my prediction.
All right, so we disagree there.
Who do you think's going to win then?
I think Jamie Hayter's going to win it.
Okay.
Why not? I mean, let's reward her for all the stuff she's done. AEW World Tag Team Championship I Quit match, FTR versus Edge and Christian, otherwise known as Cage and Cope. I don't think that it's in New York, right? If this was in Canada, then I would say that, or if it was in Canada or Tennessee, I would see Cage and Cope, especially Adam Copeland, Edge retiring because one, he lives in Tennessee, and of course the other, he's from Canada. So is Christian Cage. I don't see them retiring. I gotta go with them. I'll be shocked if they lose and they quit.
Okay. I was going to echo that statement. You got to realize what's on the line. If Cage and Cope lose, they are retired as a tag team. So I think they'll pull it off, Mondo.
Although, if they were going to retire, if they were going to bid farewell, this is one of the things they wanted to do. They wanted to team up because remember when Cope came back, I'm just going to call him Edge. When Edge came back, they weren't getting along, him and Christian. And then eventually everybody knew they were going to be a tag team. They're doing that. So it'd be great for them to end their career the way they started their career as being a tag team. So, it would be a way to go out, but I don't think it's going to happen here. And then finally, the main events of the match of the night is going to be the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. Title versus hair. Darby Allin, who's been defending the championship every single weekend, finding a way to win the ultimate underdog story, taking on the probably one of the best heels in professional wrestling right now, especially on the mic. MJF is just tremendous on the mic. That's what I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time before he's with the WWE. But Jack, I will give you the opportunity to pick this one first.
You've got arguably, well, no, I'm not going to say arguably, the best heel in professional wrestling. And
Yep.
that is MJF. I think this guy is gold on the mic. He is gold in the ring. He has the package for everything right now. And if you try and get into a Twitter war with this guy, he will bury you. Bury you. He is just, he has it. And he has had it. And he's what, not even 30 yet? Is he coming across 30 now? So that being said, I think Darby's going to take it.
I think Darby's going to win too. I think
so.
the only thing better than MJF, everything you're saying is a bald MJF being very upset that he lost and that he's bald. I think that'd be great, you know. So I'm glad that we both agree. Jack, good job, brother. So I look forward to the pay-per-view. We'll do it again next week. And so same time, same channel. So there you go, the double bicep. Now give me the single bicep and give me the side view chest pose there. There you go.
It is.
There's a tricep shot. So for Jack Lutz and for everybody else that by the way, before we wrap it up, there is Paul giving it there. He's got to do the shaking of the pecs. Much love to the Slammin world. Thank you so much. The terrible one there. We got Kal-El 21 El Troquero is here as well. Thank you. So that is going to wrap it up. We'll do it again next week, and we'll see what craziness we have. And for everybody that watched live, remember, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget you can do all the podcasts and all the great stuff. So for Jack, I'm Monster. We will talk to you next week. Okay, bye.